Hi, did you ever had an experience where you had created something that you were really excited about, a performance or an artwork or something like that, and you were just so darn proud of yourself that it was hard to keep it in? It's like when you tell a joke and you think it's funnier than anybody else in the room, so you want to keep laughing, but you have to like kind of squish it down like a sneeze you have to stifle, but secretly you're just tickled to death with yourself. Well, today I'm introducing a wand that is was in that category for me. Um, I am Kelly Sophia Grace. I am a creator. Currently, I'm focusing on wands, although under the name of Enchantment Tools for Mystics. I'll be doing a variety of tools that are going to look something like wands or any number of things. Almost always they'll involve crystals and other tools that someone might use to put on their altar, to use in some form of mystic activities. I kind of stay away from the idea of witchy activities, and maybe that's because I grew up in a strong evangelical home, and even though my beliefs have evolved dramatically, um, I recognize that there's a ton of people that the idea of witchcraft and witchery, despite all the work that Harry Potter has done for us, still uncomfortable. But mystics really encompass all faiths, all religions, really have to do with people who, working with whatever framework they're in, are able to connect with something deeper, some kind of wisdom, um, some sense of magic that exists within the earth. And that occurs in Christianity and Buddhism, and certainly in um, Wicca and things like that too. So, anyway, I've done artwork since I was a little bitty kid. I come from a family of artists, come from a family of makers. When I was little, all the adults had something they called Daffy Days, which was where once a year, sort of like Christmas, everybody would draw names, and all the different people, all the adults, made something. You had to make it, that you gave as a gift to someone else. And the gifts were fabulous. I was really amazed at these were like lifetime gifts, not something, oh, I'll wear this for a month. It was a lifetime gift, something absolutely fabulous. So I was very blessed to grow up with very, very talented, dedicated, loving people who were able to, in whatever area that they worked in, they were able to express um, their gifts in a piece of art. Um, anyway, I've made several wands. I made my first wand when I was 13. A little bit different than what I'm doing now. I was actually a professional magician. Was proudly awarded the Goddess of Magic Award, which I was picked out of about 40. I think it was all young people, young. I think it was all young boys. I don't even remember a girl being in that. But anyway, it was featuring somebody who was really active and moved in magic, and I think that defined me in ways that I had not really even expected. I practiced kind of professionally from 13 to like 17, and had an agent in the whole 9 yards. Um, anyway, I've done a lot of things over the years. We'll talk about that as time goes by. But I want to introduce you the wand that I did today. It's one of those things that when I got finished with it, I was really, really tickled. And I'll tell you a secret about it too that has kept me laughing for 24 hours since I made it. I was talking to a friend of mine, um, who we were discussing different wands, and she actually kind of came up with the concept, but I ran with it. Um, Back in December, on the 10th or 11th of 2019, I went around, I gathered from the various trees on the property cottonwood, and we've got there's a really neat apricot tree that somebody took a sapling. Our landlord got a sapling from the land at Georgia O'Keeffe's. She came here, and it's now like a huge tree. She nurtured this thing. It grew into a beautiful apricot tree that bears fruit. Anyway, there's a bunch of neat trees around the property, pine and things like that. So I gathered a bunch of wood that I thought would make really good wands. And on the 12th, and this would have actually been earlier in the morning, on 12/12/2019, at 12 a.m. and 12 minutes, 12/12/12/12, was the full moon. It was an extraordinary full moon, so bright it was like dusk or dawn. It was amazing. And in the light of that moon, I came out and I cleansed the wand in moon water made right then. I squeezed the juice of a pomegranate, which I don't know. I know the symbology of pomegranate, but it seemed like the thing to do. And I took a basting brush you would use for a turkey, and I wiped each of the wand blanks, we'll call it, with the pomegranate juice, and that was to chase out any negative energy, to imbue it with good energy, and to give the wand as a base of the wood. Um, to some extent, I want to leave it blank because ultimately the wand is the tool of the person that uses it. But on the other hand, I would love to think that the universals, it's fine to imbue into the entire process. And that would be love and peace and purity. So the base woods used for all of these, I truly took as magic, you know. Now you're going to see in 2 seconds. I promise I'm going to show you. I'm not going to make you wait much longer. But the work that I'm doing, I've been an artist in a variety of ways my entire life, and there are going to be people of you, particularly the Wiccan purists, that are going to say, like, that's not a wand, that's art on a stick. Okay, it's art on a stick. I want you to know how important it is to me that in addition to being a work of art and expression, something that came up within me, that I felt like was important, that had power, that I also treated it as a very serious representation of what we can hold in our hands with intention, and create magic with intention. So anyway, one of these sticks I thought was like the most interesting stick I'd ever seen. And there will probably be more of this particular wand, but this one has the best branch. I can't even imagine finding something better. So anyway, without further ado, this wand is called the Circle of Life. And the wand is so big, that's the reason I set the camera up the way I did. You'll see that there is a snake winding around the tree, and on the top of the wand is a little mouse. Um, it's one of those things. Do you ever have a piece of abstract art, and like you saw something different every day? There's a question whether this mouse is aware that there is a snake just around the corner, or whether he's at peace, not recognizing um, potential danger. Um, but it is the circle of life. I mean, people live and pass away, and life goes on regardless of how all these happen. Um, anyway, we'll start at the bottom. Um, at the bottom of pretty much every one that I do, um, I use this spiny oyster. Spiny oyster is literally the shell from a living creature. It's absolutely gorgeous. This one little piece is worth about $6, just that little coin-sized piece. And funny you would mention coin, because behind that are three copper pennies. Now, copper pennies made after 82 are copper plated with zinc inside, but that is intended to kind of supercharge the wand. It intentionally has the stack of three pennies. Um, the red is probably more decorative than anything else, but I like to have some little jewel attached there. I hand stitch all of the handles on my wands. Pretty much all of them are going to have. There will be some smaller wands that will happen, but pretty much all of them have um, a leather handle, very, very fine leather. I do the stitching myself. It takes me a while to do. Um, the snake, technically, I could have carved that snake. I know how. But I also didn't want to spend a week on this one, have to sell it for, 800 bucks. This is a snake that I appropriated from the store. I'll go ahead and tell you the secret of the snake. And this is the thing that has had me giggling for 24 hours. And that is this snake, if you got it wet, will grow to up to 600 times its size. And then when it dries back out, it goes back down to this size. So I have this fantasy of somebody going out in the rain and they're like praying to the gods of thunder, please come, water my fields. And the snake starts growing and pops off the wand and curls down the person's hand 6 times larger than what it appears now. I think they would faint. It's the idea of it's very funny. But anyway, I don't recommend that you get the wand wet. But if your kid takes it and plays with it in the tub, it's going to scare the crap out of all of you. So anyway, um, the little mouse up top is just a cute little mouse that I found, actually at Michael's. And to me, he had the exact right attitude that I wanted to have. Um, Kind of a sense of peace, like prayerfully. Um, is he praying that he's going to be okay, or is he in peace? Um, the issue on that is this peridot. The peridot is a stone of protection, and I like the idea that between danger and peace is this source of protection that the earth provides for us, and we have to recognize it, honor it, and use it. On this side is a really gorgeous piece of jasper that's got multi different colors. Of Jasper 2 is a protective stone. I also thought in my head it would be funny if the snake starts coming up the branch and the mouse kicks the jasper over and knocks the snake off the tree. So in that sense, it can be a very real protection. Um, the mouse is perched on a really nice um, chunk of real clear crystal. Um, it has a crystal point on the back. Clear crystal, clear quartz in particular, um, is something that amplifies your intention. So this quartz, literally, you start where you put your hand on it. I'd say put as you're holding the wand, put your finger on the um, spiny oyster. The power of your intentions, whether you're going to draw a circle or you're going to make a declaration to the heavenlies or just speak peace over your family, whatever. The power literally travels up through the spiny oyster, through the copper, through the channel of the blessed wood, and then is punctuated. You see this little pointy crystal? That's really important because that's what sends the intentions of the user into the heavenlies. So I will note one thing. So I showed this to a very, very dear friend of mine, and she is even though she had some background like me in Christianity, um, she is so well versed in feminine magic, feminine goddesses, etc. And she had a very different take on this wand, and that is, when I made this, I had this concept that the snake was ominous. It was coming to get the little mouse. And she didn't see it like that at all, because in her religious understanding, the snake is an ancient feminine figure, and a feminine figure of power coming to bring it literally brings peace. It's not an ominous, scary thing. And the way she saw the wand, the first thought she had was that the mouse represented the patriarchy, and the snake was the divine feminine rising up in the earth to um, to overtake the patriarchy that's doing harm. Anyway, I like that, not because that is the truth about this wand, but by the fact that this wand has the ability to be what you need it to be, and that may change on a day to day basis. And that's what moves it from an object of magic to an object of art and back and forth. Um, it's something that you can live with. It comes with um, a doll stand, but the wand is best displayed um, perched upwards like this. You could technically lay it down on an altar or whatever, but I don't think it would look. I just don't think it would look like I envision it. Please do whatever you want to do with it. Um, this wand is $88. Now, I don't know if that's too much or too little. Um, to me, if you see it as a work of art, it's probably too little. I spent a lot of time on this, and there's money involved in the crystals and things like that. This is a work of art, so I don't know what the value is. All I know is that, like a primitive artist, I am driven to make these things, and I also want to get them into the hands of people. This is the first of this kind. Um, if this one sells, and I think it will sell quickly, then I can, on a custom order, make something very similar. Now, no two will be alike. Um, this one, if is 70, I'm sorry, it's $88. Shipping would be 12, so it's 100 even to get it delivered to your home. It's guaranteed if it ever breaks or anything under normal use. I don't know what that would be, but um, whatever it takes, I'll make it right. That's the bottom line. Whether it's doing a video call where I coach you through how to fix it yourself, or if you mail it back and I'll fix it and mail it back to you. I intend for this to be something that lasts a very, very long time in your household and is a blessing to your household. So there you have it. This is the first video for enchantment tools for mystics. I live in the land of enchantment, New Mexico. It's where that comes from. And I look forward to talking to you a lot more about my background and the different wands and things that we will be presenting to you. If you want this, let me know in the comments immediately. I'll get you my PayPal or Venmo or Cash App information, and we'll get this headed to your house. If this one sells, and it will, then also message me and we will make one custom for you. When we do custom work, I have a variety of colors of leather. You may want to choose a different color. Um, well, the peridot seemed like the earth color I wanted to present here. You may want an amethyst or a smoky quartz or something. You can vary up the requests on the rocks. Now, obviously, if you want a 15 karat diamond back here, that ain't gonna happen, or you have to pay in advance. But within reason, we can get you whatever you want. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be able to present these to you. It brings me great joy. It brings me personally healing to make these, and I trust that the healing that it does for me will also be a blessing to you. So, Kelly Sophia Grace, Enchantment Tools for Mystics. Peace out. Namaste.